Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Love Hour Lovecast. I am your host, Miss KevOnStage, and I am joined by my husband and co-host,
the KevOnStage.
The KevOnStage, and we are your marriage champions, and we just share our experiences with life, love, and relationships. We are not licensed or clinical therapists, psychologists, counselors.
We ain't got no paperwork.
We ain't got no paperwork. Although I've been thinking about it.
You've been thinking about going back to schooling.
No. I don't want to go back to school, though. I just want to take like a fast course.
That's going back to school. It's a little bit of school.
It's a little bit of school. I don't want to like
dabble.
Yeah, I want to dabble in the school. I don't want to like fully submerge myself in the school.
You ain't trying to get a backpack.
Nah, I ain't trying to get nobody's backpack. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to dabble. So anyway, if you find this podcast helpful, please rate, review, and subscribe. And if you find that you need additional help, please seek out a professional counselor.
Yes.
We also want to thank our sponsors for today's episode, Purple.com and Audible.
Shout out to sponsorship.
Shout out to sponsorship.
Friends of the pod, and you'll hear about them later.
Yes. We appreciate your support, which allows us obviously to get sponsors. And we would also appreciate if you support our sponsors.
Yes.
I am picky with the sponsors that we get. I try to make sure that they make sense with the brand and the vibe that we have for the show.
Almost too picky, if you ask me.
Yeah, Kev would say
I'll be like, listen, we could do that. All we got to do is tell them how to sell nuclear warheads. That makes sense.
So I do try to make sure that they make sense and it would be a benefit to our audience.
Yes.
So we're going to move on into the That or This segment, or This or That.
That or This with Kevin Liss.
It's time for This or That with Kevin Liz. This or That with Kevin Liz. Tomato.
Potato.
We choose each other no matter the problem. This or That with Kevin Liz. This or That with Kevin Liz.
All right. So this month, all That or This questions will be centered around sex.
Because we're focusing on taking the stigma out of sex this entire
month of February, we are taking the stigma out of sex. And I'm like super, super excited for the guests that we already have slated to come on the show this month, and really for the topics that we have.
Yes. I like talking about sex, and I like having it.
All right.
And I like talking about having it, and I like having it and talking about it. And I like doing this.
Okay.
Before we start, I just want to say something. The bonus episodes, people have been confused.
Oh.
The bonus episodes are old episodes of the Love Hour. Somebody hit us up and was like, are y'all been married for 11 years or 14 years? Because the bonus episodes have 11. Those bonus episodes are all old. That's why the audio sounds old. We're just putting them up until all of them are on one thing. So I know that was random, but the bonus episodes are old. The episodes that are new are on Thursday. Bonus episodes are on Sunday. They're old.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for that clarity.
You got it. I love y'all.
I'm tired. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Okay. You ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Leave that in, Josh.
The That or This question is,
Okay.
if you were only able to have sex in the shower or in the car, which would you choose?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's tough.
Okay, we're going to take the stigma out of sex. We're going to speak about sex freely.
Okay, go.
Not the biggest fan. Not the biggest fan of sex in the shower. First of all, we ain't rich. Do not have big showers. There's barely enough room for us to both be in the shower and wash. Now, hotels, they be having showers. You can walk around. That hotel we were in D.C.
Man, it was nice.
I was sitting down in there reading newspaper.
Or this room.
Like, did you hear about the stock market? It's crazy. Like, those showers are bigger. Our shower is tiny. Second of all, water sex, it hurts a little bit.
Does it?
Yeah, it hurts on the peen. Peen don't like it. Not a big fan of water sex. Also, Melissa keeps the shower water too hot. I can't focus.
I need hot water.
I don't know what setting she has to have the water on boiling.
I don't like cold showers.
But I be like, I be itching and stuff. It's too much.
I like a little bit of itch.
Car sex, same type of problems. Big people, small cars.
Car sex is the worst sex.
Man. So you can only do this.
For the rest of your life, if you're having sex, it's either in the shower or in the car.
Does the shower water have to be on?
Yes.
It hurts. I don't like shower sex. I don't like car sex either.
Pick one.
I'm thinking. I would say car sex.
It's so uncomfortable,
But we could get a
Kev.
really big car. You didn't say how big the car had to be.
Okay.
Okay, we was trying to have sex one time. We had a rented car. This thing was like a Fiat. I was
Why
like,
you have to tell everybody about business?
after a while, I was just like, it's just, I don't like it, actually. I got a cramp in my leg. I keep hitting the steering wheel. It's not,
Oh, my God.
It's not comfortable. Remember that one time we had?
Shh.
Why can't we? You don't want to
No, don't say no words out of your mouth right now.
wanna talk to
No,
me?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Why you can't say it? Okay, I'm not gonna tell you what car we used this time, but we just haven't been blessed to have humongous cars
No.
yet. Lately, when we've been traveling, we've been getting humongous SUVs. Because one time they upgraded us. There's like, look, we don't have the small car you guys wanted, and they gave us like an 8-passenger SUV
Wait, what are you talking
in
about?
Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And then remember, I just kept getting big cars
cars.
after that. So if I have to be one or the other, I would choose a car, but I would choose a big
Okay.
car, like a humongous, like a Sprinter.
Gotcha.
Is that technically a car?
I'm going to allow it.
Okay.
I
would-
make up the rules in this, so
yeah,
I'm going to allow
so I would take a Sprinter or a very large SUV, but not an automobile like a car, because it's not very much cool. I don't know.
Okay. I think I'm going to concur. I was going to go with shower at first, but then hair.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that. And I have that same problem. It's just like, the frizz.
I have natural sides, but I am relaxed on the top, and this becomes a boofa.
You're unstable.
When I am unstable.
Double-minded woman.
I got all the things
Unstable
happening
in all her
my
way.
hair, and it is the worst when it becomes like a super curly mess.
Shower sex don't feel no different to you?
No.
I can't do it.
But if you get a bigger car, I would go with car.
Yeah, I think I want a bigger car too. I got a little stupid car.
Your car is little.
But it's paid off.
You know what's actually a very important aspect of sex?
Oh, I thought you were talking about having paid off cars. I was like, what? Tell me, the lower insurance liability? What's
No. Although that's true too.
Yes.
Sleep.
Yes.
Yes.
Being fully rested.
Having a great night's sleep not only impacts the way that you operate during the day, but it also impacts your sex life.
Absolutely. And you can't sleep well if you don't have a great mattress.
And you cannot sleep well if you don't have a great mattress. Do you have a mattress that you recommend?
I think I do.
What is
the
that?
mattress from our friends at Purple.
At purple.com.
Yes. Purple.com has a great mattress that is engineered by
An
NASA
actual rocket
astronaut.
scientist. No, rocket scientist.
Rocket science?
He's an actual rocket scientist.
The fact that he's a rocket scientist and he was like, you know what, with all my brain power, I'm finna make the best mattress ever.
Precisely. But think about it. Rocket science, he has to think about like people being in rockets and how uncomfortable it is. And I don't know.
And
he was,
quadrants,
Yes.
you know he has to say, whatever quadrants are, he knows. He'd be like, bro, I got quadrants on deck.
What are
And
quadrants?
I don't know, but it sounds sciencey. And he used all that information to give us the best match. And also, not only do you need a great mattress for great sleep, you need it for great sex.
you need it for both.
Because when we were first young and married, first of all, we had a tiny bed.
Yes.
And we had a trash mattress. And you don't be wanting to have like the greatest experience when your back is killing you.
You can't. You're cranky during the next day. All
Yes.
during at work. You're like irritable. Like actually, a good mattress is it's clutch for your entire life.
Clutch. We've had a much better life since we don't have to have trash mattresses. And you're right, because if you want to have great sex, you have to be in the mood.
Yes.
And if you're tired, you're not in the mood.
No.
And if you don't want to be on that bed, you're not in the mood.
Yes.
And when we were really young, we used to be like, let's just try the floor because at least I know where it ends. The mattress has sharp spines. It was terrible.
Okay, let's give him some facts about the
Give them
mattress.
some facts about the mattress, girl.
The purple mattress will probably feel different than anything you've ever experienced because it uses the brand new material that was developed by an actual rocket scientist. It's not like the memory foam you're used to. I'm used to. We're used to.
Yes.
The material feels very unique because it's both firm and soft at the same time. So it keeps everything
that.
supported while it's still feeling very comfortable. Plus it's breathable, so it sleeps cool. And you always want the cool spots on the
Everybody
mattress.
wants the cool side of the bed, cool side of the pillow.
Cool side of the pillow, cool side of the bed. I actually look for the cool side of the bed too, though.
Yes.
Like I'll roll until I find those
And
spots.
that's why she always ends up on my side of the bed.
No, that's probably true.
Stay on your side of the after sex. For sex, stay on my side. Afterward, I need my space.
Hello? Get a 100-night risk-free trial, and if you're not fully satisfied, you can return your mattress for a full refund.
Hold on, that's 3 months plus 10 days.
That's actually really good.
100 night?
100 days.
Wow.
Risk-free. Backed by a 10-year warranty, free shipping and returns.
Okay, listen, guys.
And you get free in-home setup and mattress removal.
Try it out.
And I looked, I'm gonna order a mattress. They're not very expensive. I actually looked.
Yeah, we have good mattresses for our boys
looked,
and ourselves. And Joshy needs a new mattress.
We all need a new mattress.
Joe Boy needs a new mattress. That could be our gift.
Yes.
To our friends. The gift of a good night's rest.
Gift of a good night's rest. Okay. You're going to love purple. And right now, our listeners will get a free purple pillow with the purchase of a mattress. That's in addition to the free gifts that they're offering site-wide. Just text Love Hour to 797979. The only way to get this free pillow is to text Love Hour to 797979. That's LOVEHOUR to 797979. Message and data rates do apply.
And once you have a good mattress and a good night's sleep, you can do 696969.
But text 797979.
Once you done text and be like, I don't want to flip it, I want to zip it.
You want to flip it and zip it.
Amen.
Okay, let's get into today's topic, Kevin Fredericks.
All right, let's get into the topic.
So today's topic is talking about how to reignite your sex life.
Yes, I think it's really important because we've been married. It will be 15 years this June, and there's been patches. Mm-hmm. You know, there was it was I don't want to say difficult when we first started, when we first got married, but it was difficult. Mm-hmm. You know, we had different.
I was going through my I would agree.
And we've had different patches after she had kids and after, you know, we'd be beefing. When you're beefing, you have a hard time getting to the great sex. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important to tell people, because the thing about marriage that we say often is it's peaks and valleys.
Absolutely.
About finding your momentum. You're going to go through ups and downs. You're going to go through changes. You're going to go through times where y'all ain't cool like that. Mm-hmm. You're going to go through times where it's just like, man, it has never been this good. And we want to give you tips and help to make sure you can navigate those peaks and valleys, because that's really how you keep a great marriage. It's kind of like a football team, like mm-hmm. really successful football teams like the Patriots or really successful franchises. They don't win the championship every year, mm-hmm. but they navigate the down times better than other ones. They don't stay down too long. And when they're up, they stay up for longer. And that's kind of what we want to do, is keep yourself competitive. And I'm going to continue the analogy until I have nothing else.
Keep yourself competitive.
In the playoff hunt every year. Okay. Is how your marriage should be going.
But the other thing is that sex is actually your sex life is a really good barometer of how healthy your relationship is. It is much easier to engage in sex with your spouse when you are on a good, healthy path with one another. Right. And that's having an intimate connection, having a physical connection, feeling, having a sense of closeness to one another. Like all of those things play a role and can be displayed in your sex life.
Right.
And while sex isn't like the most important thing in a relationship, it is probably the number one thing to go when your relationship goes sour.
Ooh, that's good.
And so it's always a very good gauge, barometer of, where you are in your relationship. If it's on if it's healthy or if it's not healthy, if you're beefing with one another, it's always the first thing to it just shows distance.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the first things. And the other thing that happens outside of that is just life happens. Mm-hmm. And as life happens, sometimes sex gets put on the back burner.
Yes.
And so you'll find yourself, years after years of being in a rut, so to speak. And you're like, I want to get out of this rut, but you don't always have the first steps. You don't always know what to do.
Yes.
And that's how people wind up in a sexless marriage.
Yes. Because I think with a lot of things, the longer you have a hard time with it, mm-hmm. the more daunting it seems. And the more daunting it seems, the harder it is. And it's just like this vicious cycle of the next thing you know, it's been a couple months, and a couple months comes a couple years. And then you're just like, man, we ain't had sex since
I don't remember.
In that, yeah. And then you also, remember, and to add insult to injury, you're remembering the times where it's great. I had sex 3 or 4 times a week. And, and now we're down to here and there. And we've had friends who've talked about this. We've been to marriage conferences and things like that, where people have been like, man, we don't really know how to
honestly,
get back
we receive emails. This is a topic that comes up quite often. And emails from people saying, hey, I'm in a sexless marriage. How do I get out of that? Like, what are some steps? And you just kind of, one of my points is actually get out of your head. And you can, like, it becomes such a heady activity and it's hard to come out of that. That wasn't an intentional pun.
Head. Also a part of sex.
Okay, so what we're going to do is offer practical steps. I think I have 9.
9 practical steps.
I should have done 10.
I know. It's not a BuzzFeed listicle, though. They had layoffs.
Gosh darn.
Doesn't really work that well, does it?
Okay, we're going to move on. So the first practical step to reignite your sex life.
Ignite or reignite?
Reignite or ignite.
Yeah.
Both. Is play into sexual thoughts. That's by sending texts, vocalizing them, or sending photos.
Text, videos.
So I'm not a photo or video girl.
I've been working on getting nudes for I don't know how long. I've been saying, now listen to me, girl. I need the nudes. I'm on the road a lot. I want to think about you. I want to see your naked body on my cell phone. Okay, send me your butt.
Kevin!
Your boobs. No, we taking the stigma out of sex.
Oh, hey,
I'm traveling 3 nights. No, Joe. I know we're going to get through this together. We're traveling 3 nights a week. I need to see your butt. I need to see some nip action. It's going to hold me over another night. I got 5 shows this weekend. No. I got 5 shows this week. I got Oklahoma, Little Rock. Ain't nothing in them cities. I want to look at your booty.
Tickets.
Huh?
KevOnStage.com.
All them tickets almost sold out.
Oh.
So I get back to that hotel. I'm like, you know what I want to see? Melissa's butt. I need to see a little nip, little lingerie. Keep my mind focused on the right things. We're still yet working. We're believing God right now that the spirit of news will be all in our life.
I really can't stand you.
Needed to come through in a mighty way. That's a ministry, really. It is.
Okay.
Body's amazing.
But what I was going to say is what happens a lot of times is that you may have like a sexual thought that comes to your mind and we will either disregard it or downplay it or just simply like dismiss it wholly.
Push it down.
Yeah. And it's not, it's partly because life is happening.
And also, I want to pause. Stop hacking celebrity nudes. It's ruining it for the regular guy. I've been so close to getting a nude, and then celebrities' nudes leaked. I'm like, I got to start all over. Okay? I got iCloud encryption. I got special apps. I be so close. And celebrity nudes, I be like, y'all killing it for the regular man. Okay? Some of these celebrities show their body for free in movies. Who cares? I need my nudes. So stop for the greater good of the people. I am the greatest good. So yes, continue with that sexual thought. Because Melissa, you be in your head. And the worst thing Melissa does, and we're working, this is really interesting because we tell you guys every week, we're coming from a place of fresh stuff we are dealing with in our marriage. Okay. Not stuff we've conquered. So I had a show in Spokane last week. And Melissa was like, what did you say?
I was this close.
She gonna text me. I was this close to sending you something dirty, and I was like, why you didn't send it? Why you stopped? Why you did? What could I do to?
But why didn't I send it?
Why didn't you send it?
Because Josh had your phone.
And
he was logged into your stuff.
Josh had the camera phone.
I would have been mortified.
Josh couldn't shoot. You would have been fired, Josh. You could have sued me for discrimination, malpractice, but California is an at-will state. But I would have had to let you go. I would have hit DZ like, DZ, you're on. Josh is out. What did he do? He saw Melissa's butt. He didn't do it. He didn't do anything. He's a casualty of technology. But now Josh is signed out of the phone and the iPad and all that stuff. But the worst thing than not getting the dirty pic was the thought that it was on her mind. I was like, now it's the worst. It's like when somebody says, man, I got to tell you something, but I'm going to tell you later. Just tell me now or don't say that. And then she just never sent it. She was like, I couldn't do it.
I'm back at 0.
And the next day, I was like, hey, do you want to send?
No.
Because I'm in Sacramento tonight. Could you send? No. Okay, one more time. Go to Portland. Please send. No, nothing?
No, the whole thought process has to start all over.
What stopped you? You didn't tell me.
God.
Oh, Josh.
No, I didn't know that until the day after.
So you didn't know Josh?
No, we didn't know
God didn't stop you?
Yes, he did. He was like, Melissa, don't do it.
Because Josh.
Because Josh has this phone. And I didn't know what he was telling me.
But you couldn't have known that thought.
But God knows all.
But I want to know, what was the thought where you said, I can't do it?
I'm trying to tell you, the Holy Spirit whispered and said, don't.
Really?
Yes. And I was like, okay. And then the next day he gave me the revelation.
Holy Spirit be hating, man. Hating on the news. But I actually didn't hate, because if Josh would have seen that, that would have been the one and only.
That's what, it would never happen again.
Never happen again. Dang.
So anyway, the point is.
So how are you going to push past that the next time?
So the point is to play into your sexual thoughts and fantasies as they come up, because I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But the
Getting
number
ahead of yourself?
All right. The whole episode, huh?
Oh, yeah.
One of the I'll just say it now, but one of my points is your actual biggest sexual organ is actually your brain. And that is because your brain is what sends...
Is that a metaphor, or like really your penis is
quite
not bigger than your brain? Like by mass?
No. I meant like literally, because your brain is what's sending the triggers out.
Got it.
And your sexual organs won't
Penis.
activate, but for a woman as well.
Vagine.
Won't activate
Vulva.
if your brain won't allow it to.
Yes, that's correct.
So if you
That's
can't...
actually really good.
Yeah,
Your brain's
so
a big sexual organ.
you have to like get there mentally for your body to respond.
Right.
Okay. We'll have more on that later. All right.
Okay.
Do you have any more thoughts on that?
I want you to get there mentally.
Okay.
I got a long tour before. You're not on the road with us until May. I got to be in Ohio in March.
Okay, we're going to move on to number 2.
Oh, what do I got to look forward to besides the show? When the show's over, I'm going to be like, I'm just in Ohio.
Yes.
A nude would make that night go a lot better.
Number 2.
I sleep so well on my purple mattress. Like, man.
Kev, purple mattress.
Oh, you know, I can sell something. Yeah, man. Give us the dollars. I'll tell people about it.
Hello. Number 2, spontaneous makeout sessions.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually something that I have committed to for the month of February. I encourage you to commit to as well. And the reason why is because, number 1, it increases connection and excitement.
Yeah.
What else? What are my other notes? And also what happens just in life is that you stop kissing.
You do, because the kids...
Because life, and because I read this, as you stay in a relationship longer, you start to show love and affection in different ways. And so the physical aspect kind of, again, it just gets pushed to the side. Like it just gets pushed when you're young and married, or not even young and married, when you're just young in a relationship. Like that's all I have to offer you, really.
We were 16 and saved. So we were not even sure we were supposed to be kissing. But we did it. Oh, yeah. And man, back then, them kisses were passionate.
That's what I'm saying. But literally, that is the only way to show affection. That's all that you have. And so as your relationship matures and you get older,
you try to get to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah. And that's also what happens. It requires, it requires a lot.
I don't have much time. We got to work at the morning.
That's what I was going to say. It requires a lot. It requires a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Kissing requires a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you just want to like cut to the chase.
Especially men. They'll be like, I want to touch you now. This place. I want to kiss different
Why
places.
are you making me so uncomfortable?
Melissa got the stigma in sex. You're our first person who has to have the stigma taken out of sex.
And this is my idea. That's why.
Why are you struggling so hard?
Because you just have to like push it all the way.
Mm-hmm. Push it to the limit. But lately we've been reincorporating kissing back into our thing. And also, here's a good thing for you, men, because we are like fully erect in 0.6 seconds. We're ready to go, and your wife might not be there yet. So taking that time to kiss, to hug, to cuddle, and all that type of stuff allows her to meet you where you are, as opposed to her not being ready. Then she doesn't have a great sexual experience.
And it builds a greater, I keep saying connection, but it's like literally the only word I can think of, but it builds that connection, because otherwise sex can be very transactional.
Very transactional, very routine.
Very routine.
Same positions all the time.
So that kissing, it takes it a step back from just like the act, so to speak, and it allows you to like actually make a connection.
Yeah.
Anything else on that?
No, I think and also the spontaneous thing is so important.
Yes.
Because we get so much like, there was a while there because, you got the kids in school, especially when we were both working. I think probably the most routine type of our sex life personally was when we both worked at Boeing and I had to be at work at 5 a.m. And it was just like, boys got to be in bed by 7:30 or 8. And it's just like, we were falling asleep a lot of times before 9. We got to, I mean, it was just like
8 o'clock.
It was like, okay,
you have to stay on the schedule because you have a life to run.
So we have sex probably Friday or Saturday, maybe both, maybe Sunday.
Why are you going through specifics?
Well, I'm just saying, like, that's how it was like that for a while. It's just like Tuesday's out. Tuesday's out. We just, kids got school, whatever. So if we known this then, a spontaneous makeout session on a Tuesday night when the kids are downstairs would have been like, oh my gosh, it would feel so unexpected, and therefore would have been more valuable. That
intimacy that is sometimes like it can just be lacking, and it can also create excitement.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in spontaneity. I really think you should not always know, unless it's a trip and that's your fault. You ruined that for yourself. And you should not always know, like, okay, Friday night I probably will have sex then. Like, that's fine, but it gets a little boring.
Yeah, it gets very routine.
Very routine, like, but if it's like, oh, snap. I mean, there's been times where Melissa has started the sexual experience and I was like, oh, what's happening? I like what's happening. Is this, she is. Oh, I like this. Wow.
Oh my God.
It's like finding a lot of extra fries in your bag. Like I ordered a small, I look in there, it's an extra large. Like I got 2 fries for the price of 1 and Chick-fil-A sauce.
Oh, Chick-fil-A.
They make the best fries. So, but that is great and it's unexpected, and that sometimes will carry you for longer. You're like, man, that was great. Remember that last Tuesday? That was good. And that's just me talking to myself at work.
Number 3 is leave lingerie in the car or suitcase.
The car.
No?
We talked about it.
Why not?
Because of car sex.
No, the point is to build excitement.
Oh, yes. I thought you were leading to have sex in the car. I was like, I told you I have the camera.
No. This is all about igniting physical intimacy. So it doesn't mean that like in this moment we're going to have sex. It's about building the excitement that is sometimes lost in the routine and mundane of every day.
Got it. Okay. Yes. I think that's important. I think Melissa, we had this conversation years ago. She wasn't the biggest proponent of lingerie. She was just like, I mean, I get it, but I don't.
When is that episode dropping? Has it dropped yet?
I don't remember. I haven't looked at the bonus episodes thing. And I remember her being like, Kevin, I don't get it. Like, I wear lingerie and then I take it off. It's just my naked body. Like, what's the point? And I was like, yeah. And a Christmas gift's also wrapped in a present. I mean, the Christmas gift is also wrapped in wrapping paper. It's just a box. But taking that bow off, oh, it's Christmas morning. You hear what I said? Oh, it's Christmas. And I think it's, I don't know, it just adds a little excitement.
It is.
Because, I mean, listen, love Black woman. Love her. Love it. But a bonnet and the do-rag is not the most sexual thing to look at.
And that is part of the igniting, is getting out of the everyday experience. Yeah. And honestly, that is more of what lingerie represents, because it's actually twofold. Lingerie, I have come to realize, it is not only for your husband. It is also for the woman to get out of her own head. It allows her the opportunity to feel sexy.
Feel pretty, feel
and
sexy.
a lot of times everything is positioned in such a way that I am doing this for my husband instead of a woman realizing that this is also exciting and can put her there as well.
Right.
So lingerie physically or visually may be for the husband, but physically putting that on, feeling sexy, the whole process of like maybe makeup or, moisturizing your legs and shaving and perfume.
Sex.
So I'm not talking about you right now. I'm talking about for her.
No, I'm talking about, but you ain't gonna feel sexy if your knees.
Well, and that's the point, is that whole process also just helps excite you, and again helps your head get there.
And when your head's there,
it's easy for your body to follow.
You can get the head. It's 3.
Okay. The fourth one is a game or an app.
Oh man,
that we've actually used. It's called the Intimacy. Is it called the Intimacy game or the
Ultimate Intimacy app? I'm pulling it up right here.
Okay.
It's called Ultimate Intimacy.
It's called Ultimate Intimacy. It's purple. Are you gonna pull it up for the people
UI? The app thing says UI. It's not pulling up.
You know why? Because the Wi-Fi sucks in here.
Oh, that's right. But anyway, this little thing was a great purchase for us. Let me see if I can turn the Wi-Fi off and find it. Here
There
it
you
is.
go.
All right. This has play the game, resources for physical and emotional intimacy, conversation starter, 200 positions, products, intimate extras, bonus materials, and the thing that's super dope about it is that it's not just bang bang have sex.
Yes.
Right. It's for one thing that was really dope for Melissa is it was the conversation starters, and it was in this. A lot of them actually have different ones. They have some that are about so it's romance, intimacy, family,
The
finances,
topics within.
spiritual, and it's a Christian app, miscellaneous. But I just want y'all to know, like, this is Christian, but
They go. It's actually my favorite thing because it is like a Christian based app.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that it is G.
yeah, no,
rated.
it's regular.
Like it is
sex.
a sex intimate app.
Yes,
And I appreciate that. It's not vulgar.
It's
but-
not vulgar.
Yes, but it is.
but it's not. It's
for
not
adults.
missionary position. Now read Genesis and then do
Yeah.
another missionary position, and then after that, y'all want to take communion and then back to the missionary because that's what I was expecting. I was
Yeah.
like, well, this is a Christian app. It ain't finna be.
Yeah, it's
nothing.
not a corny app.
It is not.
Yeah.
Well, there's some. They got hot and heavy playing this app. So, but I actually really like the conversation stuff because that connection piece was important or is important before you get to sex. You know, just not like banging a hammer into a nail, so to speak. You know, you want to. I'm saying you don't want that, guys. I'm saying you don't want that.
Okay.
It's an interesting way because the game is like it's a shuffle. It's like the husband does this and you can put it on a timer, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 2 minutes. Then the wife does this, and you can adjust the game based on how sexual you want to be. It could be light. If you guys are like new to stuff, you're very conservative. You can be really light,
And they do have like
heavy
levels,
play.
so to speak. Yeah.
Level up. Yeah. So, and it's like a shuffle version. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. And, if things get going, a lot of times you can't even finish the game. You just be like, okay, we got it. We having the sex now. So I think this was really fun for us because this was like we were looking to have something that would differentiate our sex life.
Yeah.
And Melissa found this on a podcast, I believe. The person was selling, and this is not even
We're not sponsored.
not sponsored by us. This is just
It's a really good resource.
it's a really good resource. We use it from time
Highly
to time.
recommended for the month of February.
Highly recommended for the month of February.
Forever, but
and
for the month of February, since we're
infinity
talking about
and beyond.
sex.
I
Yes.
think sometimes just trying to. Some of these position books. Okay, so here's a question. It's one. This doesn't necessarily lead to sex, but this is what it is. One negative memory you have as a child. So this is just let's have a conversation. You don't necessarily need to be sitting naked. Then the romance category, it's share 5 things you love about your spouse. Intimacy, what gets you in the mood for sex. Family, what was the best family vacation memory from your childhood. Finances, what's the best way to use your money spent? So it's all these type of questions. You can take it and take the other ones off and make it only about sex. You can make it for everything. So
You can tailor it to whatever you're looking for the night. And if the purpose of the night isn't necessarily sex, the purpose of the night could just be like conversation.
Absolutely.
And connecting in that way, then it's still a great resource. Because some of the questions, I was like, I never even thought of that question.
And the game, just so you guys know, it has romance, foreplay, heavy foreplay, hot and heavy. And you can do the minutes per action up to 5 minutes. And we just
Are you giving an example?
I'm giving an example. This is a romance one. Okay, so here's a romance light. Husband gives wife a foot rub with lotion. Slide your fingers through each of her toes.
Yeah.
Then it just goes to a question. The wife asks her husband, what were you thinking about right before you kissed me for the first time? I actually remember what I was thinking about that. I was like, yeah, I'm finna kiss.
Do you have one of the okay, here we go.
Foreplay. The husband lies on his back. The wife lays on top of her husband. Both spouses clasp hands and extend them above his head. The wife kisses her husband's neck and ears. Heavy foreplay. How far do you want to go?
You can stop after this one.
Okay. The wife kneels on the bed or floor. The husband kneels behind his wife. The husband reaches underneath with his hands and gently spreads open his wife's vagina lips with one hand while softly using the other hand to massage his wife's clitoris. And then hot and heavy, it's pretty much, I will stop the podcast and Josh will have to leave. So
it's a great app. It's a great resource, especially even if you are in a rut specifically.
a rut is such a good word for that.
This is a great it gives you the instructions. It's a play by numbers type of app.
Yeah.
So you don't have to like create, and again, you can get out of your head. Like it gives you the instruction and
the
you
freedom.
just do it. And the
because a lot of times it's like, well, try this. I don't want to try this.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try this. I don't want to try that.
Yeah.
Okay, then what do you want to do? The same old thing. I need something else.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I need something else. So yes, we definitely
Highly recommend.
And I don't know if it's on Android, but I'm sure it probably is.
Sure. If
But
it's not, you
definitely
should
for,
get an iPhone. Okay. Number 5, say yes more.
Yes.
I think this is a huge thing for lower desire. Statistically speaking, that's going to be for women.
Right.
It is, well, actually, one of my favorite sayings is from, you know what I'm talking about? Michael Jackson. What's the name of the movie? The Michael Jackson movie with Vanessa Williams.
Is Jackson 5 American Dream?
American Dream.
Okay.
Okay. So in the American Dream movie, Vanessa Williams is pitching the Jackson 5 to Quincy Jones.
Barry Gordy.
Barry Gordy. Thank you. And not Quincy Jones. It's definitely Barry Gordy. Anyways, don't judge me for that. The point is that when she first pitched him, he said no.
Yes.
And she said, I am not looking for a fast, give me a slow yes instead of a fast no.
Yes.
And that is something I've literally kept with me forever. Like I use it at work all the time. Like anytime I ask somebody to do something, they be quick to tell me and I'm like, take a minute. I'm gonna need you to give me a slow yes instead of a fast no.
Right.
And I think that carries so well into sex as well. It is so easy to not be in the mood.
Right.
It is so easy to be exhausted. It is so easy to be tired versus taking just a moment
Yes.
and giving a slow yes,
Yes.
instead of a fast no. And that is the simple yes increases intimacy.
Absolutely.
It just opens you up to more possibilities and really just more spontaneity. It just opens you up to so much more, and it keeps you from the rut of every day because you've now said yes to more things.
Absolutely. I love that.
You do?
I do.
Do you have anything to add?
Say yes to nudes.
Oh, we're
Give
back.
me a
We're
slow yes.
We're on I tried to give you a slow yes,
know.
and you don't sign out of apps.
I signed out.
You don't sign out of iCloud
I signed out.
now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So now give me a slow yes instead of a slow no, which is what you did last time. It wasn't a fast no.
It wasn't a fast
It was
no.
a slow no. So just take that no and turn it around and make it on, and then turn me on. With the nudes.
Okay,
I want this episode to end in nudes.
we'll see.
Hey, man.
Number 6.
There's a lot of secure apps now. Encrypted.
I don't actually trust nothing.
Take a naked picture on a Polaroid and hand it to me. If you don't trust nothing.
I don't trust nothing.
Hand this to me. I'll put it in my pocket.
I don't trust nothing. Okay, number 6. Go on a date night
Yes.
and have it end with sex.
Here's the thing that we just implemented. So Melissa read Michelle Obama's book,
I did.
Becoming.
It's a great book.
And we'll talk about this a little more later. But
On
she was
this
like,
note.
Yeah, on this note, she said one of the things that her and Barack did from early in, before he was even the president,
Before he was the president, before the girls were born,
before the girls were born, was go on a date night every week.
every single week.
Every single week. And I was like, every week? Like, no matter what?
They met at the same spot.
They met at the same spot. And I was like, okay, we're going to do this. Like, because we travel a lot. I travel a lot now. Melissa's travels. We're going different places on Wednesday morning. She's going to Atlanta to look into the conference space for the Love Hour Conference 2020, Atlanta, Georgia, July 9th through 12th.
You feeling confident?
Oh, yeah. We haven't signed the contract, but July. I'm believing God right now. And I'm going to Oklahoma for a show. And I was like, okay, we are going to schedule it weekly. So this week it has to be on a Tuesday. So what that meant was, in order for us to do it, we had to pack merch last night. Because you have to do it.
You have to make it a priority.
You have to make it a priority. That means you have to work the rest of your life around it.
Yes.
Because we do not take the boy. Well, we took the boys one time because I was starting the tour. So I took them last week. But I think this is probably our 4th or 5th one. And we go to our thing is we're going to a new restaurant every time. Not always an expensive restaurant, but a new restaurant every date night. And we just, at that time, we don't work. Because since we both went off our regular jobs, the amount of work that we do now
It's nonstop.
far exceeds what we worked.
I agree.
Like before, it was, some emails or whatever. Melissa didn't really have any work to do once she got home.
I gave my all to my job and then I clocked out.
Yeah, but when I was at ADD, it was always at least some emails or checking notes or whatever. Later in my career, other people did all that stuff. But there's always something to check.
Sure.
But now Melissa's, she's up like preparing for the podcast till the wee hours of the night and all that stuff. So, but we stop once a week, no matter what. We go and have a date night. And you don't have to have a lot of money to have a date.
I concur.
You can go to the mall. You can go to a park. You can go to a drive-in movie.
It's all about connection. It's not necessarily about the activity.
Yes. It's about taking some time to say for these 2 hours, it's just going to be me and you.
And sometimes that could also just mean the kids are going to bed at 8 instead of 9 o'clock. And we're going to stay up until 10 o'clock and be in the room and be on the intimacy app or whatever.
That's a great date.
And that's a great date.
Or we are going to before we even got to date night, we went away from, we did a no phones after 7 thing. So it could
No
be
work after 7.
No work after 7. So it could be as simple as phones down. We're going to watch a movie on Netflix, or we're going to watch a movie on iTunes, or whatever the case is. But the point is, for these 2 hours, we are focused on each other. And that has done a lot. I look forward to date night. I look forward to finding new restaurants for us to go to. It's my responsibility. I run date night for our.
Yeah, he does.
I'm big on experiences. I like doing things, new things.
Because I'm super cheap.
And Melissa's cheap, and I'm like, bro, what a LA guy. LA Prime Steakhouse overlooking downtown. Let's do it.
But the other part that's important about date night is sometimes women, or not women, but just as couples, we go out on date night and it stops. Like, we go out, we have a great time, we eat this food, and we come home, and like that's the end. And again, we're talking about sex specifically, so I'm not saying, and I want to be clear too, while this month we are focusing on sex, I don't want men to think that they can just like lay back and like, my wife is going to do all of these wonderful things.
My wife's going to sex me.
Yeah, and I have no responsibility. We're still charging our husbands with making sure they are present for their wives outside of the bedroom.
Yes.
But also I want women to have more control over their sex life, and in the month of February specifically to take their sex life more into their hands by doing these things, taking more ownership.
Yeah.
So with that said, the date night, ending it with sex is for your husband's connection.
So are you saying tonight for sure?
Oh my God.
I just want to make sure.
Why do we have to ask?
Because you get lobster steak, I'm going deep sea diving. Remember that on Booty Call?
No.
Jamie Foxx. She was looking at the lobster side of the menu. She was like, you looking at that side of the menu. That's cool, but I better be going deep sea diving. I just want to make sure the rest of my day going to go good if I know this is how it's going to end. I didn't know the date night was supposed to end in sex. It has been, but I ain't know it was
I am
part of your
saying that
recommendation.
it is one of my recommendations, and part of the reason why
But
is
are you living your truth and recommending something you're doing?
men connect that way, and date nights can sometimes be lopsided. And I actually learned this tidbit on For Women Only, which is my book recommendation for the month that you can get on Audible. Oh, I need to tell you all the things about Audible.
All the things.
They are one of our sponsors for the podcast this month. And I'm like super excited because I use Audible faithfully.
You would use Audible if they weren't a sponsor.
No, I do use Audible. Regardless if they're responsible or a sponsor or not.
You put me onto Audible. You put Shari Teresa on Audible.
I put a lot of people onto Audible.
You said not only do you need to buy Michelle Obama's book, you need to listen to it on Audible because her reading.
Time out. There are certain books that you can read and it's fine.
Yes.
There are certain books when the author reads it to you, it is a completely different experience.
Yes.
And one specifically, there are a couple books actually that I can think of that I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad that I listened to this on Audible versus like sitting down and reading it. But top of the list is Becoming by Michelle Obama. If you have not read that book or audio listened to it, and actually it is the one book that I'm like, no, you should listen to it instead of reading it. I encourage you to go get it. It is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal book, period. Michelle Obama is phenomenal. Don't at me. That's not up for debate. It's just a fact of life. But this book read in her voice, it just, and I've said this to like everyone I've ever recommended this book to, but there is one chapter where she talks about the death of her father.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear her go there in her mind through her words.
Yes.
Like the pauses that she takes and just the way her breath catches, because you know, like that's bringing on that emotion. It's evoking, sadness.
Right.
You hear it in her voice to the point where I was in the car like, I am bawling.
Mm-hmm.
I am bawling my eyes out, listening to her describe her relationship with her father and, what happens with his health and, all of these things and how much of a worker he was, and he was going to work and he probably shouldn't have been going to work, but she understood how important it was. And then the way that he died, I was just like, this is too much. It is too much. But it is phenomenal. It's absolutely a book that I recommend. In addition to the book that we're reading, For Men Only, for Men and for Women Only by Shanti and Jeff Feldman. I read this book in the past. I picked it up again. Feldham. You're right. It is an amazing book.
Good. This is probably the third time we're listening.
Probably at least. And every time depending on where you are in your relationship, something different sticks out to you.
Yes.
And
100% agree.
And she has a really great reading voice, which is also something important to me. I hate doing audiobooks, and I'm like, first of all, I think the author should always read the book. That's first of all. Like, you should just always read your book. But also don't have an annoying voice. And Shanti doesn't have an annoying voice.
She has a great reading voice.
So that's that. So anyway, that is the book recommendation for the month. I recommend that two things. I recommend that you read it together. So the women read for women only, the men read for men only. But the other thing is you can initially do a swap, listen to it and have the points that like specifically mean something to you, and have that conversation with your husband and him do the same, and then swap for women and for men only. And then they're reading or listening to something and they have something to like hang on to because you've already had a discussion about it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So with the audible.com and our sponsorship, you can get a free 30-day trial by going to audible.com/love hour or by texting love hour to 500-500. Again, that's love hour, LOVEHOUR to 500-500, or go to audible.com/love hour. And the book that we are reading for the month is For Women Only. And for men only.
And for men only.
Both. I recommend that you and your spouse both read them together.
Absolutely. And the thing I like about Audible is I can listen anywhere. I used to listen when I was commuting. I had an hour and a half drive, and I would be tired of listening to the same music or whatever, and I would listen to a book, and it would take my commute down. Or when I'm at the gym on the treadmill, or lifting weights. It's kind of hard to lift weights to listen to the soothing sounds of Michelle Obama's voice. But on the treadmill, it's not that bad. That's what I like about Audible, is that you can listen anywhere. You can't always sit down and read.
That's actually my favorite part about Audible, is that I actually really do enjoy reading books. I just like being educated. And when I'm going through, one of my favorite things and my favorite feedback from the podcast is being able to put words into, like assign words to people's feelings. It's like something that's so important to me. And a lot of times when I read books, that's what happens. So when I hear people say that about the podcast, I'm like, yes, that is my goal. Thank you for sharing that with me. And a lot of times reading and listening to audiobooks, it allows me to do that. It allows that opportunity to have a fresh new perspective on things that you're thinking about or things that you feel. And with a busy life, sitting down and reading a book isn't always capable. Right. And you don't want to sacrifice, or possible. You don't want, or I don't want to sacrifice my love of reading books because I just don't simply have the time. So Audible is a great alternative, because whether you're commuting or you are sitting down doing, I sit down and do my makeup, I'm often listening to either a podcast or I'm listening to an audiobook. Or cooking,
you just
cleaning. I find the time to listen because sometimes I don't be feeling like listening to music. It be getting old.
Your amount of music on your phone is trash.
Hello, I
don't want to go into that. You got 8 songs.
I do. I just don't. I'd rather listen to something that's going to educate me and inspire me and make me a better person. So yeah, that's Audible. Thank you, Audible, for being a sponsor.
We love you guys.
All right, moving on.
Moving on to number 7.
Okay, so number 7 is to touch more.
Touch my body. Do, 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 do. Let me sing.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to do.
I knew it.
Thanks,
Okay.
Joshua.
Touching is important because this is how you reignite sex, your sex life, period.
Mm-hmm.
Not by doing this.
Not dapping up?
No, not dapping up. But I do think that a lot of times in relationships, and as your relationship matures, you end up having more platonic touching. Stop, I'm ticklish. Platonic touching instead of like sexual undertones touching. Not
you
that
end up having more platonic?
Yes, because you're just being like busy. You're just. I don't
like,
want to say
have
you're
a good day at work. I'll see you later.
Not like that, but like just in life, because you're just like picking up the kids or you're doing this. It's just like peck, hug, move on. Mm-hmm. It's not like those like really passionate type touching or just the touching that's like flirty or fun or and I think that you can add that microphone back into your relationship to help excite and ignite that like passion and intimacy, physical intimacy again.
Yeah, and not necessarily like overt.
No, and I was gonna say that
honk,
no, and don't do that because that's actually like the hugest turn off.
Yeah,
because I don't want to say for women, but at least for me, I feel like there are like certain
erogenous zones.
No,
I love the word erogenous zones.
Like not at all what I was gonna say.
Okay, it was worth a shot.
Okay, that there are appropriate times for touching, and when it's taken out of that context, I feel like embarrassed or like this shouldn't happen. And when you are like newly in a relationship, I feel like those boundaries haven't been established, and so that's why it's more flirty, it's more fun, it's more exciting. And then as you get older and you feel like you get like more dignified, you're like, don't act like this in public, don't do this, don't do that, and like you have to go back to that type of fun to bring that passion back into your relationship. Does that make sense? Okay, number 8. Yes, be verbal and vocal about what you want.
Yes, the songwriter said, I like a little conversation with my sex. It's T-Boss.
It is. I was like, that's TLC, but I couldn't hear the melody in my head. Because I actually learned this on Where Do We Begin? It's by Esther Perel, which you actually can find on Audible as well. It's one of my favorite podcasts, like favorite podcast. And she says that sex is so much more than the act of sex. It is about breath. It is about movement. It is about your voice. And why do you always have to act it out? Why do you always have to act it out?
He says about breath.
It is.
Make sure your breath is fresh also.
Yes.
Hygiene is very important to sex. A lot of sex books or books that talk about marriage talk about this. How men, especially, unfortunately, want sex with poor hygiene.
They don't take showers.
They come straight home with musty balls, talking about what you want to do tonight. Bleach.
I want to do bleach.
You gotta be presentable. You know, like in the dating world, when you were dating, you would never go over to your person's house stinking, straight salty balls, hot pits. You would not do that. You know what I mean? Like, don't nobody. There's been times where I've been musty myself, and I've been like, this is uncalled for. So I think we forget that stuff, but it's more than the act. It's the breath. It's the presentation. You have to be and maybe your wife, for Melissa especially, it's very important that we are both clean. She can't even get her mind there. She's like, I had a long day, I cannot do. I have to take a shower.
Yeah, I have to take a shower.
Even think about being on me.
Because again, that goes back to being heady. If I think I stink, if I think I'm musty, don't touch me. I don't want nothing to do with
I don't want to do this to you.
I don't want none of the things. And so you have to allow your mind, you have to settle all of the roadblocks and concerns in your mind to allow your body the opportunity to get there.
Yeah, and I think I think the longer you're in a marriage, that's something that you can forget what you did because you
become comfortable.
Yeah, when you're first dating, you would have the right scent on. Let me make sure I got my cologne, Burberry, Versace, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And of course I'm clean. Sponsors. Of course I'm gonna be clean. That's off the rip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when you get married, you just kind of like get a little lazy. You fall back into some old habits and things like that. You're like, man, I ain't really.
It's not even you just get lazy.
You get lazy. And you
get comfortable.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't be a habit, but you fall into some bad. You fall into some bad habits. And I think it's important to understand that it's a holistic experience.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mind,
And I
body,
think
soul.
Mind, body, soul, and I like the words part of your thing.
This is the other thing is that again, something that just working on for myself, but also something that is so true. A lot of times we think that like talking dirty, so to speak, is always for the other person. And you hear those words too. And so it's also your own turn on.
Yes.
And again, going back to the lingerie thing, like a lot of times I think as women, we give the power of sex to men instead of realizing some of the things that we say we do for them also benefits us in turn as well.
Yes.
And so to like, again, sex is more than just the act. It's body, it's breath, it's movement, it's all voice, it's all of those things. You're not just hearing those things and being turned on. I can hear myself saying those words, and that it's also my own turn on. Like the just dirty, like there's a whole science behind like talking dirty and what it does for your spouse, and then what it also does for yourself.
Yeah, you're talking yourself into being a willing participant.
Yes.
And you should speak kindly to yourself. Or in this situation, nasty to yourself. You nasty little
Well, you're
girl, you
speaking to your spouse.
You want to do that? You like when they touch you there? Oh, you like that, don't you?
What is this voice?
I don't know. It's a dirty talk voice. And also, I think sometimes in sex, you don't have to. You need to say, "I like this."
You
don't
should.
like this.
That
Faster,
is taking
slower.
That is taking control.
Yes, because what a lot of times, and this happened in our sexual relationship very early. Melissa would not say nothing. No, I'm just gonna be quiet.
Because you have a good girl complex.
Good girl complex. Whatever you give me is fine. Thank you, sir, for that sex. And then, as we got older and you felt more comfortable yourself, you're like, actually, you know what, Kevin, I ain't really said this, but I know I like that. But I do like this. So let's take that one down 100% and let's double up on what I do like. And as your partner, you should relish that. I used to use this analogy about good sex with a person you've been with a long time is like a quarterback having the same offensive coordinator, and they just have this chemistry and they, understand each other. And the more you talk about what you like and don't like, it cuts out let me try this, that.
Sure.
That doesn't work. This doesn't work. And then you can say, because a lot of times you're like, oh, I didn't think I would like this. Can you do this? Sure. I don't mind. I'll do that. I like it. You like it. Because in sex, you want to please each other.
Yes.
And you can't just do what you think that person likes.
Right.
You need to do what that person likes.
Yes.
And that's another conversation that maybe if there's something that you guys have been doing that you ain't really comfortable with, or a person pushed the limit too far, you have to say that, because otherwise you're in a situation where you're resenting this sexual act. This person might not even know
they don't know.
You don't like. You know what I mean? So we talked about this a lot in the last couple episodes of transitions and things. But that goes into this as well. You have to speak about what you like. You cannot assume that person knows and they don't, and then blame them for when they don't. So conversation and communication is important in every aspect of your love life.
Absolutely.
Including
sex,
but not limited to sex.
But it is of paramount importance.
But naked, it's of paramount importance.
And the last one is that your brain is your biggest sex organ.
I like that a lot, actually.
Do you? Tell me why.
Because I think a lot of times, for me, I don't want to speak for all men, for me, I forget that we get into the idea of sex differently. How little it takes for me to get into sex.
That it's more physical for men than head.
Head. But it's more physical for me, and a lot of times especially in the past, early in our marriage, I wasn't even like trying to get into your mind, you know what I mean? Or to get you into the thought process of having sex. So I remember the first thing I realized is like, maybe if I cook and clean, like acts of service is one of your love languages, and it was important to you that you cook dinner and, help the boys with homework and all this and that. And I realized that it's hard for you to think about having sex if you have all these tasks.
You have a to-do list in your mind.
Or you have just finished all those tasks. Now you're just surely exhausted. So I was like, okay, let me take some of these things off her plate, right? Like not only on the days I want to have sex, but just in general. Because if you just do it when the days you want to have sex,
don't do that, man.
She's going to see it a mile away. She's going to be like, nope, don't. I see what you're doing. I'll do the dishes. Because that's what you think this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ends up backfiring. It doesn't having the opposite of your intended effect. So I think that's something that I think is important, is to get into your head by removing some barriers and some stressors
all of those things, and it's so much more than just that. It's also body image is something that we can get heady about. It is your to-do list. It is thinking about tomorrow, or, just so many things that are running through our minds. And again, if we can get our mind, if we can like shut off our mind for a moment by doing all of the other things, that also helps to suppress to-do lists and mom mode and work mode and church mother mode and like all these other modes, by doing the other things that we've already said, whether that's saying yes or leaving lingerie. It allows your mind to think more on sex and less on all the other things,
right?
Which helps you at the end of the day when you need to go there and you're like, you've been thinking about it and pondering sex all day versus I haven't thought about it at all. And then now I need to go into this mode, and it's something that I feel disconnected from because it's not something that crosses my mind on a regular basis. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really important for men to understand.
Yes.
Understand that that's how her mind is working, and here's what you can do. Because a lot of times we just, fine, she don't want to do it.
And I think it's really important for women, number one, to recognize that, and number two, take more control. Like, we don't have to be victim to the natural way our mind works, which is going into mom mode, going into work mode, going into cleaning mode. Like, we don't have to just like succumb to that and like, that's just the way it is. You can decide to do one or all of the things that we've listed on or named on this list to help train your mind to think differently.
Right. You killed that last part.
Okay, good. That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
And also, I just want to say one more thing that I really thought about, and the more we talked about it, I think it's important to say, send nudes. I think that is a great, important part of a healthy sex relationship. Videos, also good. Just send those things. iPhone encrypted.
Someone think of better technology. So we're going. I think we're done.
We're almost done,
but we
finna do
a
giveaway.
So just we want to do a giveaway, but before we do the giveaway, we want to again say thank you to our sponsors, Purple.com and Audible. And make sure that you support our sponsors. I wanted to just really briefly, please go get the book Audible. I will be doing a recap on it every podcast for the month of February. I already have like some really good tidbits already that I've been listening to. Please make sure you support our sponsors. Audible.com/Love Hour. That's audible.com/LOVEHOUR and purple.com/Love Hour as well. And you can text 797979 Love Hour for purple.com and 500 for Audible.
Nice.
Boom. Okay, moving on to our giveaway.
We are giving away a happy couples box because happy couples kiss, laugh, and talk. And then they put the P in the G and lick each other.
So we're going to be doing
everywhere.
I'm sorry, I always cut you off because you just don't know when to stop.
And they have fun.
So we're going to do a giveaway.
Shout out to our friends at the happycouplesbox.com.
Yes, Happy Couples.
Black owned, by the way.
They are black owned.
Black owned.
So happycouplesbox.com. And we will be giving away this box. One of them is not open. We have 3 boxes around here.
And this one's not open. I'm just putting this there. We're going to still show them.
Okay, so show them what the box includes.
So
a black teddy.
Black teddy. Unwrap me satin bow teddy. And there's a white woman on it. You want me to show them everything that's in here?
Sure.
There's a gummy
bears with a gummy vodka recipe.
A gummy vodka recipe.
Okay.
And if
vodka's not included.
Vodka's not included. If you don't feel like you can drink, then dip it in some Martinelli's.
Good idea, Kev.
There you go. Orange is the new black. Whip it. Okay, you can whip it good. Also, they all come with this too, which is a
paddle.
A paddle, because you've been to naughty girl. You want to be spanking.
You're the worst.
This one comes with gummy panties. Find out how many licks it takes to get to your sweet spot. Turn yourself into a tasty treat with these yummy, edible gummy undies. These delicious, delightfully flavored candy undies are a sexy way to satisfy your lover's sweet tooth. Best of all, you get to be the main course. And it's watermelon. Because we're black.
Hello?
BJ Blast oral sex candy. It's like Pop Rocks for your peen. The world's only fizzy, popping, bursting, exploding oral sex candy.
That sounds painful.
And it's only 69 calories.
Nice.
How convenient that it's only 69 calories.
There's
thoughtful. Still more stuff.
Okay.
Still more stuff. Nipplelicious nipple arousal gel. Stimulate your nipples to the extreme with this tingly, tasty nipple arouser. Spread it on, lick it off, and drive them wild.
Cherry flavored.
Cherry flavored. A blindfold to block out the haters. Or if you're really weird about sex and you need it to be dark, you can put this on and go back into your head and be like, I just gonna enjoy what happened. And then there's some sex
scratch offs.
Scratch offs. So the way this works,
we use these.
We used these last night when we had sex.
I hate everything about your life.
There's 8 different positions and you scratch them off, and the one that you get 3 times, you do that sexual thing. So it's kind of fun and interesting. And the sex scratcher is, these are gender specific. These are for him and these are for her.
Okay.
So how are they going to win this box?
Did you show the cock ring?
Oh, I forgot. I put this to the side because it didn't fit. This is a Colt dual support ring for stronger erections. It's called a Snug Tugger. And it stretchy and comfortable enhancer, built-in scrotum ring for added support, body safe, unscented, and lephate free. I don't know, PHTH? That's a lot of consonants. So you put this on your peen, and I think it keeps your peen rock hard and strong. So we're gonna give you guys this stuff. Okay. Use what you like. You don't have to use it all.
Use what you like. And we're going to
2 boxes to give away.
We have 2 boxes to give away, and we're going to include a Visa gift card for a date night.
Visa gift card for a date night, so you guys can go out to dinner on us.
And
$100. Is that what we said?
Sure, that works.
$100.
And I actually want to include lashes as well for the woman to get fancy.
And for the men, I'm going to include a do-rag. I'm not. I just wanted to.
I was like, no, he's not. Okay.
2 pair of athletic socks.
Yes. So the way to enter and win is to simply follow the Love Hour podcast on both Instagram and Facebook. We will pick one winner on Facebook and one winner on Instagram. And that is the Love Hour. No, not the Love. It's just Love Hour podcast, both on Instagram and on Facebook. And
those social media sites will have all Love Hour information only. We post it on our personal ones as well, but we don't post every clip, that Josh cuts because it's overload. And also conference information will be there. So memes, book recommendation, pretty much all the information that we talk about here will be on those social media sites. So Instagram and Facebook. Okay.
Instagram and Facebook.
So just like them. If you like both of them, you have 2 chances to win. If you like one, you have 1 chance to win. If you like 0, you're a hater.
Amen. Okay. Anything else?
I love you guys. Thank you for watching.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please support our sponsors. And I think that's it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.